Hello and welcome to Retro Americana. I'm your host, Jeremy Scott. Hey, yeah. We're going to start off with some beer today, folks. Yeah, I figured that one would get you. All right. Ballantine's beer from the 1950s. Pretty good stop motion stuff going on here, even by 1950 standards. The only problem is the characters are creepy AF. Kind of like those showbiz pizza animatronic musicians, just effing creepy, man. But however, it was done well. Now it was discontinued for a while, but in 2014, made a resurgence, got re-released or a reboot, whatever you want to call it. And another great thing about Ballantine beer is it's Marty Crane's favorite beer on Frasier. Remember that show? Marty Crane. Man's man. Check this out.
I'm Klondike, Tea, Ken the bar for men both brave and bold. It warms my heart to serve them all the ale with Brewer's Gold. Enjoy that golden flavor, true ale flavor. Oh, that's Valentine. Ale with Brewer's Gold. Brewmasters know this Brewer's Gold, the best hop from the vine. They brew it into Valentine for flavor genuine. It's got that golden flavor, true ale flavor. Oh, that's Valentine. Ale with Brewer's Gold. Remember, friend, ale is the trend. Enjoy the genuine. For ale that's really light and gold just makes the three-ring sign. Enjoy that golden flavor, true ale flavor. Oh, that's Valentine. It's the genuine. Ale with Brewer's Gold.
All right, up next, folks, we have a C&P telephone commercial from the 1970s. Now, what C&P stood for is Chesapeake and Potomac Telephone Company. It serviced Washington, D.C., Virginia, West Virginia, and Maryland. So for you folks, if you're watching me on the East Coast, you remember that? It was owned by the Bell Company. And the reason the guy, for you youngsters, is getting so freaked out about the guy, calling LA is that there used to be a thing called long distance charges. Now, I mean, they might still exist on landlines. I don't know, I haven't had one in 12, 13, 14 years. It's all cell phone. There's no cell phone long distance charge. Maybe if you call overseas. So that's why, for you kids out there, that's where they're going, what's it calling LA? Oh my God, on my phone. So that's all that is. All right, check it out.
Hey, Phil, can you say I have to make a phone call?
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Well, the meal is just too much.
Just one lump of sugar.
I like your salad dressing.
Hey, Henry. Guess who?
Our next door neighbor moved all the way to L.A.
Los Angeles, L.A.?
Any night after 11 or weekends till 5 on Sunday, dial direct and talk 10 minutes to anyone in America for $1.58 or less. So imagine how little a few minutes cost.
Go ahead, I got time.
Up next, folks, we have a Circuit City commercial from the 1990s. Circuit City was a pretty big player back in the day. They're basically relegated to just being an online retailer at this point. So you can actually go to Circuit City, but it's going to be on your computer. And this 5-disc CD changer that they're featuring in this commercial is being sold for $129. So here's the inflation on that. That'd be like $215 today. So. Remember CDs? Remember those? And just a little bit of side trivia for you. In 2002, I sharted my pants at a Circuit City in Austin, Texas. Hashtag TMI. But it happened. And I just told you about it. There's a camera in front of me. What the hell is wrong with me? Anyway, Circuit City, 1990.
Worried about spending too much this holiday season? Circuit City has everybody's favorite gifts at guaranteed low prices. Circuit City, the right prices right now.
Right now, every appliance is on sale. Save on Maytag, Whirlpool, GE, and more. And get this RCA 5-disc CD changer with remote for just $129.97. Circuit City, the right prices right now.
All right, up next we've got a He-Man commercial from the 1980s featuring Moss Man. Now, Moss Man was created like like so many of the side characters, and a lot of them didn't even go into the cartoon, Mattel was just making so much money off He-Man at this point. They're like, well, just keep coming up with characters. Now, the really interesting thing and unique thing about Mossman was he was a Mossman. He was covered in this mossy kind of stuff, and I had him. The thing with him, though, is you couldn't be very mean to him. Like you couldn't get him dirty, or because the moss would get all gunked up and stuff. And then there was a slime pit thing. Well, we'll talk about the slime pit thing in just a second, though. So check this out: Mossman, He-Man commercial, 1980s.
Mossman.
Mossman is green, so I can't be seen. Ha ha ha!
He-Man, Mossman, Skeletor, and Triclops figures, each sold separately.
Look, He-Man's alone. It's 2 against 1. Wrong, Boneface. It's 2 against 2. Mossman fooled you. Yarg!
Mossman, new from the Masters of the Universe collection. Other action figures, each sold separately. From Mattel.
All right, how about another He-Man commercial? I almost gave it away. I was the slime pit thing. That's what this is. He-Man slime pit commercial from the 1980s. I had this one. I think this toy might have gotten inspired, or this playset, I guess you would call it, got inspired by You Can't Do That on Television. And that was the show, and I think I mentioned that in a previous episode, that was the show on Nickelodeon that if you said, I don't know, you got slimed. Or if you said water, you got water poured on you. So I think that's kind of what inspired that. And we had Mossman before. You could not put Mossman in there. Like I was saying about Mossman earlier, you couldn't treat him mean. You had to be nice to Mossman. You had to crush his moss. You couldn't put him in there, or the slime would destroy his moss fur stuff. And it even said that on the box, as I recall. Don't put Mossman in the slime pit, you little jackass. Okay, didn't say jackass. I think it said you little okay? So check this out from the 1980s, the He-Man slime pit.
From the Masters of the Universe, Hordak reveals the most gruesome trap ever. Welcome to the slime pit.
The what?
The slime pit.
Now, Spike, you're my slave, not the slime. Yes, my slime will overpower you. I've been slime. No one escapes the evil horde slime pit.
The evil horde slime pit, new from the Masters of the Universe. You put it together. Figures sold separately from...
All right, folks, last up, we got another one of those kick-butt TV series intros. Magnum P.I. That was a big-time show. It ran from 1980 to 1988, and unfortunately, it was rebooted last year. Yeah, boo. Why do more? Anyway, Ferrari certainly loved the show. They got a lot more exposure to American audiences than they'd ever had before. I mean, his car was like an uncredited star of the show, and I liked a lot of the other characters in that show. TC, Higgins, and Higgins' dogs, Zeus and Apollo, which I think Zeus and Apollo needed their own spin-off show. You know, maybe, or at least like be guest stars on Alf or something. They needed, I don't know, I think they could have had a better agent. And like Miami Vice that we had a few episodes ago, kick-ass 80s music. I mean, it's one of those theme songs you don't forget. You just don't. Check it out. From the 1980s, Magnum P.I. intro. right, that's the show, folks. Thank you very much. New episode Monday, July 1st. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube and stuff. I'm gonna order pizza now. You guys can go now. Okay. We'll see you. Yeah, I'd like to get a large pizza.